Hi, my name is Bob Colling, and I'm with Ozark Naturopathy. Many times when I'm talking to people, they tell me that they want to get well, they want to change some things in their life, but they find out that they really know they need to do things, but they feel like they can't, or they don't have the energy to, or they just don't have the ability to work all day long, deal with the kids, and then have the energy to take care of themselves as well. That is most of us. I feel to have the same thing. Many years ago, I had many health problems, and it was a path of returning back to wellness. Most of the time, when you talk to people, they say, "Well, I feel fine," but they really don't want to tell you that they couldn't sleep all night long, or they have this really bad back problem, or their knees are killing them, or their feet are hurting, or they've got a migraine headache, or they've got these sinus issues, or their digestive system's not working right, or they're suffering from anxiety or depression. They're not going to share most of those things with you, and they feel kind of helpless and trapped. We started the My Genesis plan to help people work through these things, and I know that we've all tried different things. We've tried to lose weight, tried different plans, we've tried to go to the gym, we've tried different diets, we've tried all these things, and most of the time they don't work. Well, what I found through working with people is that there's a lot of different components that you have to address, because many times, we just talk about, well, this one thing hurts here, or this one thing hurts here, or my head hurts. Now, what we do, and what I like to do, and I prefer to do, and I found to work the best, is to address the entire body, the whole part of the body, the spirit, the mind, the physical part of the body. And we've developed pretty much a step-by-step approach to this. We address 5 different areas. We address faith. We are spiritual beings. We have these bodies. We've been given these bodies. They were created by God, and we have a spirit of God in us. And our job is to take care of this body. He was kind enough to give it to us, and we should be responsible enough to take care of it. The foods that He created are foods that this body that we have thrives on. And we're expected to, God expects us to keep it in shape, feed it properly, do the right things for it, keep it fit, and keep it healthy. He also created us to thrive in communities, to thrive with others, to have friends, to be with friends. And we found that when you put a small group of people together, they get healthier when they do it that way, and because they all support each other and they work together. And then the third thing is a focus, how to stay engaged on what we're doing. And we have put together what we call Find Your Happiness in 7 days. Well, how do you do that? Well, God created the world in 7 days. I suppose that we can show you how to get well in 7 days. And we have a journey that we put people, we have a protocol or a journey that we work through over a 40-day period, because it's in 7-day increments. And we can do anything for 7 days. And if we do a little bit and it feels good and we're getting a little improvement, we can do it for another 7 days, and we can do it for another 7 days, and we can do it for another 7 days. And the next thing you knew, 40 days have gone by, and what's happened is you've changed some habits, you've learned some new things, you've learned how your body works, you've learned how to take care of your body the way God designed you to be taken care of. And then you can improve. You've made some new friends, you have a support group of people that will help you, and when you have questions. So this is what My Genesis plan is all about. And God really wants you to be well. Even if you look in the Bible, 3 John, the 2nd verse, he says, I'm praying that all is well with you and your body is healthy, as I know your soul is. God expects us to be healthy. God expects us to do healthy things. Now, with today, we have such a hectic lifestyle. There's so many things going on in our lives. It's hard. It's easier just to drive through the drive-through and get something. But, I had one client make a statement to me once he had worked with us for a little while. He said, it's cheaper to go into the grocery store and buy a bunch of bananas than it is to buy a candy bar. It's cheaper to go and get a handful of apples and juice them than it is to buy a soda pop. Now, with that in mind, these right here are God's fast foods. These foods will definitely lead you to a road of wellness. Now, the other thing is our faith. We're kind of non-denominational. I mean, we believe that God created all of us, and God created everyone that walks around on this planet. And we believe that He gave us all a spirit. Now, all of us will approach our worship and God in different ways. And so we're not here to debate that. What we're here to do is to help you find your way and help you learn to live inside your body. Because just like if you had a car. I mean, if you have your car, this body right here that we have is our only mode of transportation on this planet, on this earthly plane. And so if we don't change the oil and keep it up and take care of it, we can't just go change our organs out like carburetor or like a set of tires or something like that. What we have is what we've got. And so it's very important that we take care of it. And it's very important that we know how to do it. And we need to understand why things work the way they work. And this is the purpose of our My Genesis plan. Is we approach it from faith, we approach it from food, we approach it from fitness. And we're not talking about running 50 miles or doing marathons or things like this. We're just talking about just doing basic fitness. Your joints are all designed to move, and if you will just learn to go out and move your joints, move your body, move it every day, move all of these in every direction that you're able, and stretch them a little bit and make them move, and do that, and possibly just go out and walk and break a sweat. So your body works better if you get all your muscles warmed up. So just go out and walk real hard and just break a sweat and just keep walking for 3 or 4 minutes after that, and you'll be surprised at the results there. And friends, we want to have friends. Well, some of us are depressed. Some of us have anxiety. Some of us have lived a lifestyle where it's difficult to keep friendships for one reason or another. Well, we have support groups, and we develop support groups in each area to help people get well. And when you have support, even if it's on the internet, where you can contact people and talk to them, you chat with them, telephone conference with them, talk to them on the phone, however you want to build your support group, that is fine. I mean, you don't have to actually physically go. I mean, it's nice if you can, but sometimes it's not possible for many reasons. And then a way to focus. Learn how to sit down and be quiet with yourself, and learn how to pray or learn how to meditate on your life, on the good things in life. If you have toxic thoughts and you're always unhappy with your life, and you're always happy with other people, you're never going to really get well. You have to find ways to forgive yourself and forgive other people, and that's a key as well. And believe that you can get well. If you can, just close your eyes quietly in the morning and concentrate on just for 15 or 20 minutes. Get some quiet, non-verbal music, like some kind of a meditative sound, like the Tibetan chimes, or just the ocean waves going, or something like this, where you can be quiet, where it's dark and very, very quiet first thing in the morning for about the first 10 or 15 minutes. Get yourself a hot cup of water with some lemon, and squeeze that juice in there, and chop up some ginger and put it in there. That'll help get the mucus broke up in your throat and your head while you're waking up in the morning, because a lot of people have that. And just sit there and quietly concentrate on the good things and how you want to change your life. Hippocrates told his students at one time, that you can't help people only if they really, truly want to get well, and only if they truly are willing to give up the things that have been making them sick. Now, whether that's the foods they're eating, the lifestyle they're living, the way they're conducting, the way they think, the way they do things. There's all kinds of stresses in our life. You've got chemical stress, you've got environmental stresses, you have foods that you eat that create stress inside your body, you have occupational stresses, jobs, emotional stresses. The body really doesn't know the difference between any of these stresses. All it knows is that it's going to react to these types of stresses, and it's going to adapt to these stresses. But if you remain under, and most of the time it can handle if there's for a short period of time. But a lot of times we just learn to live with it. We just learn to live with the stress that's in our lives, the stress that's in our bodies. And that slow, low frequency, grinding stress over time, whether stress because of the foods you're eating, stress because of the environment that you're living in, stress because of the medications you're taking, stress because of the relationships that you have, or stress because of the lifestyle that you lead, those low-level stressors will eventually erode your body, and your organ systems will begin to become inflamed. And when that happens, you're genetically designed to cope with most of these for a period of time, but the body is not designed to cope with the level of toxins in our food, the toxins in our air, the toxins in the water we drink, at the level that we're getting them now. And then in addition to the high level stress of our jobs, the high level stress of possibly being in a bad relationship, or just feeling bad about yourself all the time and not feeling good, those all take a toll on you. And over time, your weakest organ system that you inherited from your family is going to start to fail. And we die from our weakest organ. We get sick from our weakest organ system, whether it's in your circulatory system, it's in your bowels, it could be in your stomach, it could be in your nervous system, it could be in your skin, it could be any area in your body. And those stressors, what happens is when you develop stress, your body starts to release corticosteroids to counteract those stresses. It will build and put out, the liver will build and put out more cholesterol. Your adrenal glands will put out more steroids to counteract the stress and the inflammations in your body. And so eventually what happens is when we eat a lot of the foods, especially the commercial foods that are out there now, they're all designed, they're neurotoxins, they're neurotransmitters, they're things that really excite your taste buds and excite your ability to desire more of whatever it is that are in these boxed foods. And so we take an approach that says if it's in the box, try to stay away from it. Go back to the more simple types of foods. You'll find that your body will respond to it very quickly. You'll find that your body will heal itself. We believe that God created your body to heal itself. And He also created all the foods in the Bible. Genesis 1:29. It says, all the plants, all the trees, all the fruits, and all the seeds are yours and your food. That's what He created for us to thrive on. And if you can learn how these foods affect your body and learn how these foods will heal your body, you will start to feel better about yourself. So we approach this program from a point of view that we're going to deal with the physical body. And as your physical body starts to feel better, you will feel more spiritual. You'll become more connected. And then we will start to work with, the spiritual end of things. We'll start to work with the fitness part of it. We'll start to work on the friends, and we'll start to work more on focus. And in time, you will find that your lifestyle and your life will become more abundant. We're not about deprivation. We're not about talking about people who cut out this, cut out that, and stop this and stop this. We're here to educate you and teach you why things work the way they work and why you are having maybe a food addiction or a sugar addiction or even a drug addiction or many other things, why they affect your body the way they do and why they're so hard to break away from. And how you can counteract that with God's foods, God's bounty. We've helped many people, and we would like to help you. And so, if you will click on the link below and fill out the little form, if you'd like to contact us, go right ahead and do that, and then we will kick back with you and we will start a protocol. We will sit down with you. The first thing we do when we call back, because we don't charge anything for this service, is we will call you back and we will go through. It will take a while. We have a lot of questions because we want to find out where you are physically, and so it's going to take a little bit of time to go through and do a health assessment and find out where you are there, and then help you reach a protocol and a pathway back to good health physically. And during that and during the process of this, we're going to connect you with a group of people who will support you and help you, and we'll also spend time talking about faith, and we'll spend time talking about some fitness things, and we will just grow together and get well together. And we will have a 40-day period of transformation. And in that 40 days, you are going to be amazed at how much better you'll feel, how much better, more people will notice how much better you feel. I personally, when a number of years ago, I had gotten up to almost 300 pounds. I had a lot of health problems. I developed high blood pressure at the beginning when I was about 40. I'm 61 now. And when I and then of course things just kept going. The doctor, gave me the high blood pressure pills. He didn't tell me that those side effects were going to cause me to. And I went in there. I was feeling fine. He said, "Oh, you got high blood pressure," and I said, "Here, you need to kind of take these pills and everything." And he didn't tell me that the side effects would cause me to stop losing sleep. They would cause me to start having headaches. It would cause me to be constipated. They would cause me to lose my libido and have erectile dysfunction. And they would cause me to and all of that combined started causing, over time started to develop some depression and some anxiety. And then I started to develop a diabetic condition. My A1C started to elevate because I was eating all the wrong foods, because I was eating comfort foods. I was, for my depression, I was trying to treat myself. And then, of course, I was on medications for all that. And then the next thing I know, I'm developing high uric acids and gout. And so I got to where I couldn't even walk. My joints hurt, everything hurt. I couldn't sleep. I got to where I couldn't sleep more than about 2 hours a night. Then they put me on sleeping pills. And that totally, was not good for me. I mean, the side effects were ridiculous. I become very agitated, very aggressive toward people, almost, and I was at odds with everybody around me. And this is what these pharmaceuticals can do to our bodies, and over time, I mean, they just tend to just keep going. And then the last interview I had with my doctor, my allopathic practitioner, the guy that had prescribed all these pills, and I'd been to a lot of different specialists, was, well, how long did your mom live? And I said, well, she lived until she was in her mid-60s. And how long did your dad live? And he said, well, he died of liver disorders, something he got from the service, like a hepatitis C, that he carried that thing for 40 years. And it was from one of the shots that he got way back in the Korean War or something. And so my dad passed away when he was in his early 60s, and then he asked me, well, what about your grandparents? And I said, well, I only had one set of grandparents that lived until they were 90s, and they lived in the Midwest, and they lived off of a farm, and they ate everything that came off the farm. And he said, that's interesting. And well, what about your other set of grandparents? And he said, well, they one died when he was 60, and the other one died when she was 58. And so, well, there you go, Bob. So, I mean, that's where you're headed. So here's a prescription, for the pain of all the stuff you're going through, and we think you probably have either lupus or fibromyalgia, and you probably have to go on steroids and everything. So you're only just a few years away from the rest of your grandparents. So at that time I was about 55, and I said, and he says, I could see it in his face. He was telling me in so many words without saying it that you need to go home and dig a hole in the backyard and pack your bags. And so I got really frustrated, and so I started digging in and learning how my body works, and learning how the natural way. I started to realize I dwelled a lot on how come I had one set of grandparents that lived so long, and they seemed to be pretty healthy. I was very young when they passed away, and then I found a naturopathic doctor, and this doctor had clinics all the way from California all the way to London, and he saw some of the wealthiest people in the world, and people would wait on a waiting list for 6 months to go see this guy, and I said, well, gee whiz, I mean, if you're wealthy, why don't you just go see someone else? And he said, and of course, he got results. He showed people the right way, the proper way to take care of themselves, and what he did got results for them, and they got results for themselves. But you have to be willing to get yourself well. You have to be willing to stop doing the things that are making you sick, and you have to have the support, and it's all about faith. It's all about hope, and it's all about believing in yourself and believing in God and the Spirit that dwells within your body. It's all about God's foods and the foods they eat. It's all about keeping your body fit at whatever level you can do that at. It's all about having friends, and it's all about staying focused. And so those are all the things that we're going to teach you how to do on this journey. And it's a lifetime journey. It's not something, it's not something where you say, well, how long do I have to do this before I can start smoking again? Or how long do I have to do this before? I had one lady, she I got her started on a program, and the first thing she sends me a message, and she says, how long do I have to do this before I can start eating hamburgers again? Well, or French fries, or milkshakes. And I said, well, you're not thinking right here. Those foods, it's very simple. If you eat foods that are processed by man, that's bad. If you eat foods that were made by God, that's good. So go ahead, send us a message if you'd like to become a part of our journey with my Genesis plan. Send us a link, send us a message, and we'll contact you, and we will be happy to include you into the family. So, bye, thanks a lot, have a good day.